How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to Upside DIY. So I just wanted to make this video to help guide you guys towards kind of where gem collecting is for me, is collecting the gemmy bean or the jelly bean type of gem detector and also a digital scale. I just picked this up I think last Thursday. And tested it and stuff. You gotta have a light, a gem detector, and a scale, and probably a place where you can find minerals. There's plenty of information sometimes in certain places, and even in videos or whatnot, or maybe you could find things. But the main thing after you and baggies, and you need to get a bunch of small baggies. Really helps. 3-inch, 2 and 1-inch. Um, Mainly the 3-inch are for more of the medium or large, and the 2-inch can hold a bunch of smaller pieces. And I've got pretty much and also after you find kind of like a vendor and things like that, they're stocked, or that they have uh, wholesalers and all types of things put together. So I did this real fast, and of course they have other tools and are at a different experience level and things. But just as a beginner's guide, uh, pick out the gemstone, the gem quality stuff. So if I'm going out harvesting rocks and minerals, I mean, um, and there'll be a ton of this stuff, but then if I could carry back a certain amount of, you know, gemstone, basically, out of all these other items, and also the size of the gemstone. So I've got big ones and medium and small ones pretty much classified. I still have to go through a few just depending on um, individual bags and things, and if I could spot out. I wanted to kind of do an update on my gem situation. I got 5 different parcels. The first one, 120 pieces. So these were ordered like at separate times from Amazon. Put in some of the details, how one wasn't as good as the other and stuff like that. Wrote down the price. So I paid 20, 60, 40, and then another pretty much 35 for the bags, detector, and a scale. So you guys kind of see about like $15 of baggies. You could round it up $5. Detector, scale, um, which is roughly around altogether. I got around 11.4 ounces of faceted. The thing is, the faceted ones were actually. So I taped up this box and everything, and tried to weigh out pretty much 10 carats. If I had 10 carats of rough, uh, so let's take this out of the box. But 10 carats of rough, to make $100, I'll have to have a diamond, basically 10 carats of diamond. So besides the cheapest digital scale that is for grams, a gem detector is going to be really useful. It's going to show you. We're trying to warm up real quick. And then I've got, and what I want to try to do is, I should really look at, press the power key, press the, I just plug in the battery. Okay, so I took out the battery. And now, okay, so now it's doing something. It's got different information. All right, so now it's starting to show 000. So I want to try to change the measurement if I could. These buttons are really bad. Um, kind of reviewing some of this stuff. So I took off the battery cover. So basically, it might have drained batteries, or when it goes into standby mode, it powers off, and I can't power it on with the power button. Things like that. Maybe things will change. Stuff with. Okay, so now it's at 000. So, um, and what I'm going to do is actually, just while things are active, go through a few things with the process. 83.81 grams, on how to practically polish stones. Basically, they're not gemstones. And what the gem detector does, it's going to show up between 1 and 2 bars. It could go 3 to 4 bars. Uh, with polished stone, those are rather 10 to 20 cents. And then there, with the gemstone, it could be $1 for a clear stone with no real fractures or inclusions and things in the sediment. And even the color range, it could double if it's a certain color, things like that. It just depends. But weighing it and stuff. So, just doing this, just say these are all 1 or 2 bars. This bag is 83.78, which is grams. You know, multiply that by 5. Let's just say it's 80 times 5. So 400 carats, basically. So that's a little really good stuff about this scale. If I could get it working and things, I just got to get used to it. Maybe it's at, let's just say, 20 cents um, on the polish scale. So there's going to be different scales. There's going to be a gem. There's going to be a polish. Um, so there's going to be a facet scale. So it just all depends. So 83. So 400 carats at the polish scale is basically $80. Well, 20 cents a carat. So that's not a bad, but you kind of look at this and it's like $80. I mean, but if you could get lucky and find an $8 stone, um, which would actually have to be pretty, and between an $8 and an $80 stone, even an $800 stone, it's got to be either polished, it's got to be a gem scale, which is super clear, no inclusions, and it's got to be faceted, and it's got to weigh pretty much 80 grams or 400 carats. So so that's, you kind of size up 400 carats worth of stuff, or 80 grams worth of stuff, which equals roughly 400 carats. So this one is 131.58. It's interesting how accurate this could get. It's a tumbler and this and that, so um, you know, but just rough rocks, it's 0 to like 10 cents, depending on how hard or something polished here and there. 131, so 650 carats would equal to $65. This other one, well, I'll have to check, but 72.85. That's roughly around 350 carats. Polished, so that would be 72.85. Well, $35 at pretty much 1 bar. Basically, if it's, I think I measured this one at 2 bars. That one was at 1 bar and stuff. So you just take off a 0 or divide it in half or things like that. This one is pretty much at 1 bar, or, well, it's basically rough, or, yeah, It's not rough, but it's actually polished like agates and things like that. But let's just double check how heavy it is. 72.86. So 70 times, so 350 carats, and it's definitely not a dollar. So it's going to be pretty much 20 cents a piece. It just depends how like good things are. Fractures and inclusions are going to definitely make a stone not worth, just the weight. It's just how it goes. So 350, not too many. Well, yeah, there are some inclusions and things. I'll probably have to separate things a little bit better, but it's roughly around $17. But what I wanted, well, what's the total like positive about this is I got this digital scale. Basically, it's going to show me 38, so roughly 40 grams, which is 200 carats. It's going to show me pretty much after gem detecting how valuable or how much these are. Some really at 10 cents a piece is roughly around $20 for this bag. And people aren't going to buy this for $20, but just the system. Otherwise, maybe if this were all clear, which people are selling, 1 or 2 bars, and if it were all clear, no inclusions, would actually be like $400 if this were like, on a gem scale, which is pretty much clear, no real inclusions. Kind of see this really nice pink, like a gate or something. Um, so and also the size of some of these, I would have to use a classifier. But imagine, and I do have, some. So, but these aren't gems, so they're not the dollar scale. So they're like the penny scale. I would say 58 point. So 60 times 5 is 300 carats. So this would be around $30. The thing is, uh, it just depends on the overall polished, basically. So polishes are pretty nice. You could imagine and do this one. I mean, 49 or 50 grams, which is 250 carats. So this would be definitely like $25. And this has been polished. If this were rough, it'll be like $2.50. And then so this thing is 25.11 or 25 grams, which is pretty much 125 carats. A pretty interesting gray. I don't know. I actually collect these. I find a end or the stage 11.60 11.61 grams. So 11 grams times 5, 55 carats of there's actually a pretty nice clear one, 65, 11.63, 55 carats. It's around $5.50. 10 cents a carat. These baggies are throwing off the real weight was 6.14, so 30 carats of tiger's eye is roughly around $3. $3. This is 58.81. Another 97.67. That's 105 grams. So, which is roughly around 500 carats. So, 525 carats. So